today I'm going to show you how to make your own organic herbal flowering tea or blooming tea, which you can buy in stores already pre-made, these little balls of tea, or you can make them yourself. Now what I've gathered from the garden is organic chocolate mint, some dandelion leaves, and some clover blossoms. Now you want to find a blend that you think will taste good together, as well as have some healing properties, and make sure that any of the herbs that you pick are from areas that are clean and free from pesticides, and that you are aware of the variety of plant that you're picking and that it is edible. So make sure that you're picking herbs that you know, and then just find a blend that you think is going to taste good together. So I'm going to try chocolate mint, clover, and dandelion. Dandelion has great properties in a tea for cleansing, cleaning the urinary tract, kidneys, liver. Really great herb, but it's bitter. So I think it'll be offset nicely by the mint, which is cooling and refreshing. And clover blossoms also have some great medicinal properties that you can look up as well. And they have a beautiful scent, and they add the prettiness to the blooming tea. So you do want some type of flower. Also, you're going to need a thread and a needle. Make sure that your thread is not a synthetic thread. You want a 100% cotton thread. I'm using 100% organic cotton thread. You can even use a hemp thread or linen thread, but it has to be a pure natural fiber thread. You do not want to have a polyester thread because it's going to melt in your tea, and you don't want plastic in your tea, because essentially that's what that is. Okay, so let's get started. So first off, you want to make sure your leaves are clean, and you want to pick a few of the larger leaves to wrap around the outside, probably 4. Let's get 4 leaves here, and we're going to bundle those into like an X shape, like this. Okay, and then we want to use some other leaves, some mint leaves as well, so we'll pick out a bunch of those. I'm actually going to cut these down a little, and you don't have to be, you can use scissors if you want to be really tidy about it, but I don't. Alright, so we got to think about it filling up our mug. So I'm going to also put in some mint leaves here and just bundle those around. And I'm going to use 4 dandelion leaves and probably 6 mint leaves. And then I want 3 clover blossoms. I'm going to use the purple clover for this one. I'm going to use 3 blossoms, and I want them at different lengths. You want to keep the stems on the blossoms as well. And 3 always looks pretty. So we want those at different lengths, so just gather them together at 3 different lengths, and then just nip off the stems. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to do first, we got our herbs bundled up and ready to go. Mint and dandelion in the middle. We're going to run our thread up through the stem, our needle up through the stem of one of these clover blossoms, and then do the same. Essentially we're just going to sew them together up through the next one. Hope you can see what I'm doing here. And if it splits apart, it's okay. You can go right through it as well. And what we're going to do is just wind the thread around. Get the leaves out of the way. You want them to hold together pretty tight. So I wind it around quite a few times, and then back up through the threads. And just knot it off. Okay, so there we go, that's that. Now, what we're going to do is start adding the leaves just one by one. I'm going to add the mint leaves first. Just sew right through the center of the leaves and bring them down and gather them where you want them. There we go. And 2 more of the mint. Okay, so now we have all the mint leaves sewn on, and I left a little tiny bit of stem on the mint leaves as well, just a small amount. So we want to pinch the stems together and wind your thread around nice and tight. Okay, and then tie that off with a knot. There we go. So now when the tea blooms, this will stand up inside your teacup. This one may be a little bit long, but that's okay. Okay, so we're sewing the dandelion leaf on the outside and another one, just sort of making a little package with it. And another one. And the last one. And we'll go back and forth and tie that off. Don't pull too tight on your dandelion, on the string, or your dandelion leaves will tear. Okay, now I'm just going to get a pair of scissors. Okay, so now we're just going to curl all these up into a little ball. We'll wind in our clover blossoms here, and then we're going to just wrap all these leaves around. You can tuck them in any way you want, and then you're just going to put them in your fist. This is pretty simple. Put it in your fist and just keep making it into a ball. Just press it, press it. Just keep some pressure on it. Okay, so I'm just going to get another little piece of thread here now to keep this into this ball shape while it dehydrates. And just wind it around any old way, just to make sure that it stays into a ball shape until it dries, or close to a ball shape. And this thread will be snipped off later. I get that piece down here. There we go. And then just tie it off. And that's it. Now you take this little ball and you can lay it in a basket, or you can put it in a dehydrator or in your oven on a really low heat. Just make sure the door is ajar and it's in the oven on a really low heat until it completely dries out. And then you have a little blooming tea, much like this one.